We're back again. I don't know what to do because I don't do a countdown anymore, so I just have to start talking.
But
I do get
just one last thing on consent, and we can cut in after this if you want. But
welcome to Multiple Nerdgasm with your hosts Matt, Luke, and Dan. Multiple Nerdgasm, your guide to all things nerdy.
We had an emergency meeting. Well, not an emergency meeting, but a last-minute meeting put in our diaries at work the other day.
I thought you meant us.
No.
Don't tell the audience about that.
We all came on, and this woman was like, okay, we need to talk very seriously about a topic that's very close to my heart, and that's consent. And everyone was like, oh, something has happened at our work.
Yeah.
And she's like, everyone needs to consent to use the app that we are putting out. We can't just sign them up without telling them. And everyone was like,
right.
oh, okay, that's fine.
That's wholesome. Good.
Yeah, that's right. Just the way it was all.
Yeah. All right. I thought we'd hide Christian Horner for a minute.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, Christian Horner. Save all F1 news till the after party.
All right, fine. Or Luke's probably was to save it for the spin-off podcast.
Yeah.
Multiple gasm.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand F1. I do, but I don't get it. But I do get the break. I'm right again about, because remember we spoke about Skull and Bones?
Yes.
Well, I remember how I said like people just wanted Black Flag instead.
Yes.
Black Flag seems like a surgence in gameplay players coming back.
I saw an article and it was like, are there any other pirate games that are as good as Black Flag? And the consensus is apparently not really at the moment.
So. Yeah.
Monkey Island. I own Black Flag, but I never really gave it a good go. It was just that old style of Assassin's Creed, which is just go here, grab this, find as many feathers as you can.
I'd play Monkey Island again, though, now that you mentioned it.
It's going to be Island. That's on my list. I've got to... And I purchased Control this week too, or not this week, purchased it last week, but to play as soon as I finish my second Alan Wake 2 playthrough.
It is a weird game. It's very different to Alan Wake.
Sure, yeah. Not a bad thing because I've literally played Alan Wake twice back to back, which I don't think I've ever done except for Mass Effect 2, which I played back to back, but only because I did so poorly the first time.
Killed everyone.
Yeah.
What about Disco Elysium, which I know we have some news coming up for that. But
you're right. I played that three times in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so famously, Disco Elysium was the brainchild of a group of independent artists who then they didn't sell it per se.
They didn't realize they were selling it.
Yeah, they partnered with a larger developer who then released the game.
Mm-hmm.
Then the original creatives managed to piss off that developer by trying to sell on the rights that they no longer owned.
Mm-hmm.
Then the two lead writers either were fired or quit. We don't really know. While the studio, which is called Zaarm, by the way, went on to start creating Disco Elysium 2, which they maintained was well within their right to proceed with.
Sure.
And the original creators also wanted to proceed with Disco Elysium 2, which was also iffy whether or not they were even allowed to tinker with that IP. But now Zaarm have just laid off a whole bunch of their stuff, including all of the original team for Disco Elysium, which means that
they'll
likely
start their own studio and do their own thing.
There might be something else, but it won't be Disco Elysium 2. It won't come from the original creators, and it's unlikely to come from the publisher.
No. Here's my prediction. They will all get together, and they won't make Disco Elysium 2, but we will get the Outer Worlds like we have for Fallout.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
Same sort of style, but just its own thing off to the side. Which is not going to be hard because Disco Elysium was already its own thing. It wasn't a...
Yeah. Disco Elysium is so good that I'm kind of not mad about this because, like, how could they have ever lived up to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Dan's so upset by this that he's just quit the podcast.
Yeah. We'll just soldier on.
Yeah, but Disco Elysium's like as you said, it really is its own thing. It's completely unique. I've not felt about a game hasn't captured me as much as Disco Elysium did. I don't think since Disco Elysium, not that much. Sounds
There's
like Alan Wake's
only
kinda
one
got
game
hooks in you.
since Disco Elysium that's come close, and that's Alan Wake 2.
I'd say Baldur's Gate 2, about 3 rather. Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 2 was also very good, Matt.
It was. It's been 30 years, but it was very good. But yeah, I don't. Baldur's Gate 3, I got to get back to.
The thing is, you got to commit so much time to Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, the problem is me, not the game.
Yeah.
It's not you, Baldur's Gate 3. It's me. I'm in a different place right now.
Like,
it's not even me. Technically, it's the person in the next room.
Yeah, my fucking wife won't let me play you.
I meant the very small person in the next room. The midget we've hired for tonight.
Me. So speaking of... no, never mind.
I will get around to playing Baldur's Gate 3 one day. And I'll probably get back to playing Disco Elysium 2 as well at some stage.
No, you won't play Disco Elysium 2. We just spent 10 minutes talking about this, Luke.
We just explained why it's unlikely to happen. No, because here's the thing. The publisher won't... I think they'll get sued by the creators if they try to do it on their own. And the creators will certainly be sued by the publisher if they try to do it on their own. So I think everyone will just cut their losses and no one will make one.
Yeah, no, we're not getting this into 2. We'll get something else in that style, though.
But that's maybe that's for the
hopefully.
best.
But here's the thing. Yeah, except that they couldn't. That's the whole thing. This group of people couldn't do the game on their own, despite all their combined tenants. That's why they had to get this big studio on board, and they lost that. So unless they get a new big studio on board,
yes, I think they may. Hopefully they've learnt from their mistakes, understand what they're getting into now, and then go, hey, we're creating a new studio, and then maybe instead of going out somewhere big, maybe get some other talent in who know more of that side and go back independent again.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. But I guess this might be one of those things where it's such a beautiful, unique thing. Maybe it's better to just
let it go.
That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Before they
everything needs a sequel
or whatever.
Yeah, not everything needs to be franchised.
Right. No, sequels aren't always the best. Unless
I was thinking about
apparently. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking recently about Scream, as I just from time to time think about. I was watching some horror movies this week. I watched some kind of just some good one-off horror movies, which I'll talk about very, very briefly in a second. But I was thinking how Scream was the ultimate fuck you to franchise horror movies like the Halloweens and the Friday the 13th, which they were great one-off movies, and then had arguably diminishing returns on all of their sequels into infinity. And then the same thing happened with Scream.
I was going to say, I haven't seen the most recent ones, but I'm assuming they just lost all that. Because the beautiful thing about Scream was that it kind of parodied all those slasher films while also being an excellent slasher film.
While being one of the best. Yeah.
Then Scream 2 did the same thing for sequels of slasher films.
Yeah.
And then Scream 3, which I still love, I know there are people out there who don't, with the whole, they're making a movie of the story of the first movie and all this. I thought that was brilliant as well.
Yeah.
And then
but they lost all that. And now it's just like bog standard slasher stuff.
Yeah. Not even slasher, bog standard 4th, 5th, 6th version in the line slasher, which is just the same people come back to the same town and somehow are targeted again by the same killer.
But you do get more Jenna Ortega.
That's
not
true.
anymore, though. She's done with them now.
Well, I mean, there is one that she's in that neither of you have seen, so you could watch that.
That's true. I mean, and she's in literally everything else. So.
Yeah, she's in a lot of stuff.
Except Dune. She's not in Dune for some reason.
She isn't in Dune.
Everybody else is. Just not
There's characters she could play in the next one, in Dune Messiah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Children of Dune.
Yeah.
Is it confirmed that they're doing their third one?
They're confirmed that they want to do it.
Yeah.
I guess it'll depend
he also
on...
said he doesn't want to do any more after that. He said that'll be it.
Okay, so is he going to... Because obviously he took the first book and made it 2 movies.
Yes. And then what happened?
And then nothing. They're just getting so frustrated with us and just keeps leaving.
He's back.
us.
He's back.
He's back again.
There we go.
Are you guys kicking me out? What's going on?
No. Your video goes black and then you just drop off.
And you can't hear me?
No, you disappear.
Yeah.
I figured. All right.
Mm.
Anyway,
So
we're back.
He split the first book into 2 movies, you said.
Yeah. And then there are 2 more books written by Frank Herbert before somebody else took over. Is he combining those 2 movies into the third one, or is he only doing one of those books, or is he only doing half of one?
I think from what I understand, because he's adapting them, obviously, not just making the movie of what happens in the book. Because there's already
Sci-Fi Channel already did that.
Because well, we know he's adapting and adding extra stuff because he's left the room.
Well, he has already, because like you can see in the first one, and I can even see in the trailer of the second one, he's tweaked things a bit to make things pay off in different ways, which is probably you do that for a movie, of course.
Yeah,
so,
of course. Yeah.
So
you got to hit movie beats, not book beats.
Yeah, and you expand certain characters to give them a payoff that they necessarily might not have had in the book.
Yeah.
And so what I think is the second one, which is coming out next week.
Is it so soon? I better rewatch the first one then.
Apparently, it's got a little bit of Dune Messiah smushed up into it. They pulled some stuff forward.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense, actually. That makes sense. Because if you were to follow Paul's story to its climax, you would have to go beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch Timothée Chalamet climax.
Yeah. So I'm assuming, I don't want to say any spoilers. If there's like somebody
the
out
book
there
is
who hasn't
60 years old.
I know. All right. Well, yeah, but how does that work? Well, the book ends with. No, I don't want to spoil it.
Do it.
You can
because
spoil it.
I don't want
You
to
can spoil it. If people really wanted to see this, then they've probably read the book.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know that that's true necessarily. I think more people have seen the
so.
film than have ever read the book, but I don't care. I've read them, so you can't spoil it for me.
True.
Skip
the book
ahead
ends at a
30
certain
seconds.
point, and I feel I'm pretty sure they're going to go a bit beyond that, because I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that's not a very movie ending. The ending of the book.
Yes. But if they tacked on kind of the first part of the next book,
yes,
that almost is a good ending, but also suggests a sequel as well.
Well, that's what I thought we spoke about this a while ago, that they had sort of added part of Messiah in there, and then there was sort of talks that, hey, we might look at actually getting more in, but he was sort of done at the time for, this is like, I'm going to get a part 2 and that's it. So I'll get this.
Because the way the first book ends, it's kind of a cliffhanger, right? Or quite a big cliffhanger. And then he like pulled the rug out from everybody by making the second book like 10 years later or something. And it's like, all that stuff you were excited to read about. Well, that already happened.
Yeah, that's right. We're skipping all of that, and
it didn't go the way you wanted.
Yeah, some really fucked up shit happened in the meantime.
That's a very easy thing to do, because it's sort of like, I could see them doing that in a movie. That happens in movies now, where it's like, here's what the movie ends, and then you get the sort of the end notes, like, here's what happened to them later.
Oh, yeah. But you know who did this?
It's like American Graffiti.
Sure, yeah. That's all right. We can go to George Lucas at any point.
Or like, so you mean like it freeze frames on Timothée Chalamet?
Yeah.
Paul went on to lead a jihad across the universe.
Yeah. Paul realized that genocide was actually the less of several evils, and ended up going blind and
got sad,
leading a second
off
rebellion
into the desert.
Yeah, that's right. Paul's son took over him as leader of the Fremen, and eventually took so much melange he became a worm.
Spoilers.
Nothing could prepare you for that. Even knowing that wouldn't prepare you. Who did the jump really well? I think that the half disappointing, but also equally as thrilling, was the season 2 to season 3 jump of Battlestar Galactica. They're like, should we go to this planet? And it's like, let's go to the planet. Bam. It's a year later. All of the storylines you've been following for the past 2 seasons are over. That's done. We're not going to finish them.
Fucked.
And the characters you loved are cunts now.
And now Dan's going to leave us.
It's like we get a little warning that he's going to drop off.
It's quite nice. We know what's going to happen now.
Oh man,
But no,
Battlestar
they
was
did
so
do that
good.
well. It was, and that's why.
Yeah, with Gaius was the president.
Yeah.
How did you know that was going to happen? I knew it was you doing something.
No. Because
Your
your
screen goes
video
black.
goes black, and we can still hear you for like a second or two, and then you
God
just go,
damn
boop,
it.
you drop off. Yeah.
So-
That is really weird.
It could be. I don't know. I'm just gonna guess. Maybe touch your mouse every now and again or something. Could just be computer
I'm
sticks
touching
your
it right
idle.
now. I'm touching it now.
Oh, you
Yeah.
think his computer's having a nap?
Yeah. Maybe.
Could be.
I've got an app running that makes sure that never happens, but it's called Amphetamine.
Ooh. It sounds like Charlie's on it.
Yeah.
I just want to touch before we move off movies, or we can stay on movies. But
We've got a lot of movies here.
I watched an old horror movie, not too old, 10, 15 years old. That I'm sure you've seen, Matt. Luke, you may have seen it too, called Sinister.
Oh yeah, Sinister's a fucking great movie.
Yeah. So I realized recently that there's a kind of, it's got Ethan Hawke in it.
Mhm.
There's a few like classics that I just missed for some reason.
This one's a good one.
Sinister is so good.
Yeah.
It is literally unnerving.
Yeah.
Like it is
the tapes
dead
he
set.
finds are terrifying.
Yeah. And also, I knew I was
Yeah.
going to love it because that opening shot, which is from one of the takes, is
with
the most
tree?
provocative
Yeah.
opening shot, I think, in any film I can think of.
Mm.
Like, amazing. Like,
Yeah.
just
And it's
a
got
great
old-
horror film.
It's got old Ethan Hawke in it, and I like old Ethan
Hawke he's really good in it.
I think he got better
it's
when he got
really
older.
good, and it's people.
Yeah,
the
I would
only
agree with that.
criticism I have. I have no criticisms of it. I think it's fucking great. Some people have like make fun of. There's a couple of jump scares in it that are a bit cheap.
Yeah,
but it's like, come on, whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
it's horror.
the
You got to
studio
put him
probably
in there.
made him do it.
Yeah,
Don't watch the sequel. Do not.
okay,
bother.
right? Because I've actually queued that up. Okay,
Or do.
no,
bear in
I won't.
mind.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
Yeah. It's subpar.
It's not the first one.
Not
yeah,
even
yeah.
all. Super disappointing. Yeah.
So I watched, okay. Well, that brings me to another movie that I watched, and we don't have to labor on this because it's not our usual fare. But I watched what I think is probably the best sequel I've ever seen since The Empire Strikes Back. Right,
Ooh.
Matt? Have you,
Yes.
Luke? You might have even, but have you seen Frozen 2?
I haven't even seen.
I don't think I have actually.
So Frozen 1 is a pretty damn good movie,
Yeah, I
right?
was
It's
surprised.
like
I took my
top
niece to see
tier.
it back in the
It
day.
took
and I
over
was
the
like, "Oh, it was
world for
pretty
a
good."
few years.
Look, it did, which is actually I didn't have kids then, so I never watched it. Didn't give a shit about it, but I've watched it since with Harper, and it's very good. Like it's just very good, and it plays into the tropes when it needs to, and then it inverts the tropes when it needs to as well, like all good genre movies do. The sequel is dark, and it is
Really?
emotional. It's fucking sad. I choked up at one point in it. Like like, Matt, you know the storyline of the first one, right? The kids are left alone, their parents die. They find the shipwreck that their parents drowned in. And this theme of the second one is that water has memory. So they call upon the water because, she can control the elements. So this leans really into Norse mythology, not the kind of Viking stuff, but the kind of pre-Viking stuff about like nature worship and elemental.
The trolls and all that stuff in it. With the,
so much more of that stuff, right? But more like wood sprites and stuff like that, but she can control elements, so she's controlling the water and sapping out the memory, and they recreate the last moment in their parents' life using the water that they drowned in, and it forms this kind of watery statue of them clinging to one another in fear. Like, it's really quite hardcore, and I recommend it. It's a great movie, and it's visually beautiful, but it also just is a really great example of kind of like mid-tier fantasy, like with, kind of feels historical, but also magical. Like it's a bit Tolkien. It's a bit like Game of Thronesy. Just watch it as a movie. Like don't put it on after Illyria's gone to bed if you want. It's a good movie.
Olaf in it,
It does have Olaf in it,
and
of course.
it's still good.
It's so good that Dan's left us so we can go watch it right now.
The first one is good. Have you seen it, Luke? Did you?
I haven't seen it, but I know it is good. I just, it's just
no, it's a solid.
that-
I didn't wiggle my mouth.
Sure.
You don't like Olaf?
No, I'm just goofing. I
Josh
told you
Gad
when
is a gem.
I told you when I loved him in Murder on the Orient Express. That's a great movie.
I know Olaf wants to go to the beach.
Yeah, because he doesn't. He just wants it to be
He
summer
does.
because he doesn't know what
Yeah.
summer is, and he thinks it would be great.
I remember when we went and saw Coco. I've probably told the story before.
Oh, Coco's magnificent.
Coco is fucking amazing. But we went to see, and so we went to see Coco at the movies, and there were a lot of like Latino families there with their kids and stuff like that because they were like, we can't
Finally.
wait to see this.
Yeah.
Before Coco started, there was a 40-minute long fucking Frozen Olaf's Christmas adventure thing.
Right.
Right. And it got to the point where these little kids were like, Mom, this is the wrong movie. And even I was like, why am I watching this?
Yeah.
Like it was so
They
long.
do
It
that
was-
though. Disney do
and then
put.
it made me think. Well, it made me think. Did they just think maybe we should give the white people something just in case? You know what I mean?
That's how you cut your teeth at Disney. Basically, you do a short that's a spin-off
about
of
the
one of their
white people?
properties, and then they give you a feature later.
Coco's so fucking good though.
Coco
Have you seen
is
Coco, Luke?
unbelievable.
No,
Coco's
see,
really
this
good.
is the thing. Like,
Coco, I watched before I had kids.
it's
It's just a good movie.
it's
Yeah.
not,
Same
I-
with Nebula,
no. I might. I don't know. Now I've got like a young niece and nephew again.
This
Maybe
kid
it
goes to
might
the
start
afterlife to
happen.
look for his dad,
It's all
like on the Day of the
Deathy
Dead
and
in
it's
Mexico.
fucking
he goes,
great.
he goes into the afterlife to look for his dad. It's fucking awesome.
And it is sad as fuck. Like they just go for it.
Yeah.
There's no happy
That's
ending.
Wow, there is.
No. It's definitely a happy ending, and in fact, it's layers. It's not just he finds him, yay! That like
He's
you
forced to
find
give
out
several
stuff.
people happy endings.
That's what Mexicans do. I've been to Tijuana. Oh,
Yeah.
cross the line, did I?
Well, I just don't know. You
no,
just
but
sort of-
if I know if I
Right,
say
Tijuana
something,
hand
I
jobs are the fucking line. Who
I
fucking
know
knew?
if I speak, then we will end up over there. So I'm just going to wait. And then
Over
Luke's
there
obviously not going to say
in
anything.
Tijuana.
Over in Tijuana, yes. Tijuana, which is the one that's near
San Diego.
No. There's it's like the resort city that's near
Cancun.
Chichen Itza. Yeah,
Oh.
Cancun. I want to go there just so that I can go on a day trip to Chichen Itza.
Oh, sure. I thought you were going to say just so you can
Get
watch a
hand job.
donkey show and just sleep with drunk chicks there for spring break.
I don't do those things. I'm a gentleman.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Mm.
Mm.
Mm.
Speaking of movies,
Mm.
did you guys watch the trailer for a movie that's coming out?
I
Unfortunately, I did.
By the name of Borderlands.
Mm.
Mm.
Name of Borderlands, sure.
I think I already knew this was not going to be good because
Yes.
how do you take Borderlands and turn that into a hour and a half movie? Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
People have been very critical of it, primarily because the cast. It's an all-star cast of people who aren't anything like the fucking characters.
who just don't
at
belong in
all.
this movie. And
It's like-
individually, they're all very good.
Yeah,
like,
nothing-
I've got,
no
I
issues with
I
any of
love
these
Kate
people.
Blanchett. She's like,
and she's
but
arguably
what's she doing
the
there?
best. She's about the best thing in it, to be honest.
Yeah.
like
Why is Jamie Lee Curtis there?
yeah.
Oh, no,
Tannis is not that old.
No, Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, I can sort of see that one. That's one of the characters I can sort of see.
Sure,
Mm.
I could deal with that. But the other characters don't even like the. I mean, they've got Tiny Tina in there because Tiny Tina's a big character. Everybody loves her, but she's not Tiny Tina. Like,
Kevin
Tiny-
Hart.
Not tiny enough.
no, it's not
Nothing
Tiny enough.
like
Just
Roland.
not. She doesn't behave like Tiny Tina. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like and Kevin Hart as God, what's his
Roland.
name? Roland.
Yeah.
He's like the straight guy in the Borderlands universe, and so
And
they
now
cast
you've
Kevin
got
Hart.
Kevin
Don't get
Hart.
Kevin Hart for
who's-
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
I watched.
You've gone blacked out again, Dan. Oh,
Yep.
there he goes. We had him for a bit longer that time.
But yeah, like it's not Tiny Tina.
Yeah.
And it looks like they've sort of also got rid of like because normally it's like
Fucking
4 main
fed up.
characters. Like you got Roland,
Yep.
the Siren,
Lilith.
which is Kate Blanchett, Lilith, and then there
Yep.
were 2 others, but they're not there.
There was what's the big guy's name? God.
Oh, it's
And,
been so long. And then there's the sniper.
And the ranger. I can't remember their names.
But yeah, they're not there. And they
Mm.
were like the 4 main characters, but then they've sort of removed one of them to throw Tiny Tina in.
Yeah, because everyone loves Tiny Tina, except that's not Tiny Tina.
No.
Like,
and
yeah.
yes, there was a
but,
whole
but
gang-
also on the other hand, I understand like Tiny Tina is like fucking chaos in a little human, right?
Yes.
So I can see why that wouldn't work. But then don't put her in it then. Like
I could see having it
it's-
in there, but you don't have to have her as the star. Have her
Yeah.
as you met her.
yeah, she doesn't
The-
really make sense as a main character.
The first time you meet her is she's like this over the top character that gives you sort of jobs, and so they could have her meet her, use her for one part to blow something up, and then you leave her.
Yeah. Yeah.
She doesn't need to come along for the ride.
I mean, when
Oh,
this
this
came
is
out, and I
Eli
said-
Roth.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh. Well, I don't know what to think
It
now.
is, except
Now it's been
it's Eli
shot by
Roth.
Tim
On
Miller.
paper, it's Eli Roth. Tim Miller? Did you
Yep.
say?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So I think a few people had their fingers in this one due
Yeah.
to probably lack of interest /
Because
scheduling.
Eli-
Whereas something better came along, so they were like, "Oh, I'll get my mate to step in while I'm away."
like
kind of
Eli
thing.
Roth evidently stopped. He's finished shooting it in 2021,
Oh, right.
right.
and then Tim Miller came in that I handled the reshoots, and it's only now just coming out.
I see.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That's
That's
okay. Okay,
Tim
Tiny
Miller-
Tina's played by the girl from Barbie, so that makes sense.
Yeah. And look, that's all fine, except she just the performance in the trailer, it's like, well, that's a different character.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's a movie, it's a completely different thing, fine, I guess. It's whatever. But then like, why is this a Borderlands adaptation then if you're not going to use the characters the same? I don't know. Just
Yeah, look, I think
Doesn't look good.
they thought this was a good idea.
I think,
got
yeah,
into
put
it, and then
all of
went,
that aside.
"Oh
I
my
still
God."
don't think I would want to watch this based on the
Yeah.
trailer. It doesn't look very good.
Mm.
It looks like the my favorite quote on this was, "It looks like budget Guardians of the Galaxy."
Mm. That's yeah.
I will still see
But
it.
they all look like that. Every movie looks
Yeah,
like
I know.
budget Guardians now. Did you see the trailer for Sam Raimi's new movie this week?
No,
No?
It's called.
don't think so.
Hold on.
he's doing movies again. He said he was done. He did
Yeah,
Doctor
no,
Strange,
he's
which was
not
fucking
They
done.
great.
pulled him back in.
He's
Strange was
doing. Doctor Strange was great.
Mm.
Raimi produced.
I mean,
Oh,
how
okay.
much
So he's not the
anything
director
works.
of, he's just the
He's producing
producer
it.
of. His name's
Ah.
all over the trailer, but it's called Boy Kills World and it stars Bill Skarsgård, who
Oh.
I quite like. But it just looks like
I saw
It-
a thumbnail of it.
it looks exactly like every other,
Mm.
big budget action movie that comes out of the cookie cutter machine.
Yeah,
So
that's what we get for liking them.
Mm, they're the ones that people go and see.
Mm.
People go and see anything that's out. Like,
And then James Gunn's going to do Superman Legacy, which will be different, and then everyone will just copy that.
and that'll be that. That'll become the norm. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
or
don't
it'll
know.
be shit.
I'm going with shit. I don't care for Superman.
No,
I love the idea of Superman. He is, in my head, next to Batman, still my favorite hero.
Hmm.
But
Standing
I'm
next to
not-
Batman, literally.
Still literally
Yeah.
next to him, sometimes slightly
Yeah.
above him. Um, But the
Oh,
and
hold
I
that thought.
thought,
Hold that thought.
Bye, Dan.
bye, see ya. Oh,
Well,
No.
no, you
Oh.
come back for a second.
ooh, for a second, or I'm still
Yeah,
here.
you flashed back.
I can hear you. I can't see you.
We can still hear you. And
Nope,
now you
there we go. Well, this is annoying.
It
Sorry,
is.
listeners.
But
Do we blame StreamYard?
I don't think we
Who
can
do
blame
we blame for
StreamYard
this? I don't even know who to blame. It's not Dan's fault. He's not doing anything.
I mean, it could be my internet, but I mean,
Maybe.
I don't
Just
know.
want-
The funny thing is that you guys can tell before I can.
Yeah.
It goes black and then
Mm.
yeah. Anyway, you were saying.
Sorry, video listeners. What was I saying?
Superman.
Yeah, and I actually think that TV star and film enthusiast Henry Cavill was a very good Superman too. He just wasn't
he was.
in
Good
very
Superman
good
movies.
Superman movies. But then again,
Yeah.
the actual Superman movie, neither.
Speaking of Zack Snyder, rather. But
There's
The
only a couple of
original
good Superman movies.
movie isn't. Yeah,
And
but
they were
even
made
then,
a long time ago.
and they're not even. They're not perfect either. Like Christopher Reeve is also a very good Superman, but that movie is really uneven in tone. For starters,
Sure.
there ain't no Superman in it for 40 minutes. You know, like for 40 minutes, it's not a Superman movie. And then also, like, you've got Reeve playing Clark Kent as a fucking idiot, even when no one's around. Missing elevators and all this stuff. It's like, well, hold on. I thought that was the disguise.
yeah.
No, I can understand that. I can defend that.
He's a method actor.
Well, yeah, he needs to be in that because he can't just be like, oh, someone's here, I need to put him in. Because someone could just walk around the corner and he can't be. So he just needs to commit.
You got to
Second
stay
glasses
in
are
the
on.
zone.
Yep.
Yeah, stay in the zone.
Yeah. Mm. The
So,
glasses are actually too tight and they're affecting his brain. He's just like acts a bit
They're
goofy with them on.
sunglasses, and he needs the sun. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah. They're UV protected.
I actually watched a television show this week. I watched two.
Oh,
2 television shows. Or
I
2
like television
episodes
shows.
Of a
I
television
watched
show?
2 television shows,
Hmm.
both by the same name. One the UK version and one the US version.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's always dangerous. Let me guess. Okay. And the original was the UK one?
Yes,
Yeah.
Wait,
well, I'm sure the
what was
Americans
show's name? I
decided
missed
to redo it and was far superior.
it's Ghosts.
that. Oh, Ghosts. Okay. Don't know what that is.
So the UK one, a couple finds out they inherit this old house and they go there. She has a near-death experience and she can now see the ghosts that are living there.
Okay.
And each of the ghosts have their own personality, only she can see, and it's a little sitcom comedy. It's not like anything serious.
Oh, okay. All right.
But some of the characters are quite interesting. And then there's the one character that sort of annoys me. In the UK one, there's this like World War II commander. He's there. And he's got this whole backstory that he's probably gay, but he's got sort of like it's not like
Repressed.
it's not yeah, it is repressed, and he sort of like he does have feelings for another character back there,
Another
in
ghost.
flashbacks and things like that, and they handle it quite nicely. And then you have the American version,
Yeah.
where they've got that same character, but he's not from World War II. He's from this when the Constitution was signed, Declaration of Independence, when that's signed. And he's sort of playing like he was just outside at the time when they were signing it, and he should have been there. But so it's meant to be the same essential character, but he's very, very camp, like over the top, and it sort of just misses that nuance of that. And
well, that would be too subtle.
Too gay.
Yeah. Yeah. Subtlety is not what we want over here, Luke.
No, you need to be hand fed. That's
right.
what it is. Yes, and
Hand
so
fed.
UK version, I don't mind. The American one, I started, and it's
Did they also like quadruple the amount of episodes as well? I assume the UK one was a solid 6 episodes, and the American one was
6 to 8. Like it did fluctuate, but yeah, there was the season 1 already had a lot more, and they actually threw more characters in, and
we do like very long seasons. Yeah,
everything's bigger in America.
That's right. Yeah. I wasn't this big when I was in Australia.
No, not even close.
We film it, we finish.
Like Timothy Chalamet.
That's right. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's Pornhub's new slogan. We get in, we film it, we finish.
I've been watching a TV show this week as well. It's the same TV show I watch literally every week, and I'm assuming Dan, who has now fallen off the internet again, watches this TV show every week as well. Can you guess what it is, Luke?
I'm going to guess that it's Bluey. So I'm
It
guessing
is Bluey.
there are
the
new
TV
seasons
show.
of Bluey or new episodes of Bluey.
No, we don't need new episodes of Bluey because my daughter just likes to watch the same ones. In fact, she asks for specific episodes and then just tells me the plot of them. She goes, I want to watch the one where there's the claw and then they get home and then the mum's the claw, but then the dad's the claw. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I know the one. Magic Claw.
I know the one he means. Yeah, I know the one he means. I'm trying to teach him a lesson.
I want to watch Lucky's Dad's Rules. Like, okay, yeah, pass the parcel. Yep. Okay.
I did just read an article just before we started recording about Bluey and the fact that people are a little bit upset in Australia with smart televisions and Bluey. Because if you search Bluey on smart televisions in Australia, it'll pop up with streaming services first. But in Australia, you can just get the ABC app and watch them all for free.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, the TVs are going, here, you need to subscribe to this, subscribe to this, and try to get people to pay.
Okay.
So I found that interesting.
So we're not the only ones watching Bluey, Dan. Luke, you haven't watched any yet. Am I right? You have done something Bluey related.
I have. But not watched
Did you watch
any.
Bluey? Wait, did you say you haven't watched any?
No.
So Bluey is topping the charts at the moment. It's top of the Nielsen ratings. Is that's what we call them, right? Basically,
the old-fashioned. Yep.
People are fucking loving it. And they haven't even finished the third season. I'm so confused about how the seasons work.
I know, right?
It just keeps like.
I think it's because it takes so long to make an episode, and they're so short that when they finish one, they just release it rather than and say this is part of the same series.
Yeah.
I've just read here that there is still an episode which is banned here in the US. Dad Baby in season 2. So now I'm going to make sure that I have that because I've obtained them. In addition to having them on Disney Plus.
Banned in the United States as it shows banned the dad simulating what it's like to give birth.
Oh, yeah. No, this is on here. It's on ABC here.
Yeah, I know I've seen it.
There's nothing controversial in this. In fact, the thing is,
controversial in any of the ones they edited.
It starts off by him saying, "Oh, pregnant women have it easy. You just lie around with your feet up, saying, oh, I'm in such pain," and then the mum goes, "Oh, well, let's fucking see about that," and straps Bingo to him and says, "Don't take this off." And so he has to do everything with Bingo just strapped to him. And he, of course, learns that it is very difficult.
Bingo.
Yeah, then he gives birth, and Pat from next door has to come in and
his name's Lucky's dad.
Deliver it. Dan. Oh, Lucky's dad. Yeah, sorry, yeah.
I love how in that episode, Pass the Parcel, Jenna pointed this out the other day, when they're at the party, it's Lucky's dad, but Lucky's not even there. It's like it's his little brother.
Because it's the little kids. Yeah, that's right. They still call him Lucky's dad.
But they still call him Lucky's dad.
I have a feeling that kids from a certain age from henceforth will call Pass the Parcel Lucky's Dad's Rules. Like, I think that'll just be a thing.
Well, that's so okay for listeners who don't understand. Lucky's Dad's Rules. So there's an episode of Bluey where they play.
As far as I know, that's just Pass the Parcel.
That's what I was going to say. I didn't know there was this newfangled version of it.
But they even say to him, "It's not the 80s, Pat." Like, apparently, we've been playing it wrong.
So what's the difference?
These days, when you play Pass the Parcel, there's something in every layer, right?
Oh, I've seen that.
So
you make sure you stop on every kid, so everybody gets something. It's like
that's how Pass the Parcel always worked. Not with the prize layer already in there. The person who was playing already decided which kid was going to win.
Look, probably we were kids.
Hitting play and stop. Does someone hitting play?
Well, you're not supposed to look. You're not supposed to look. That's the point. It's just, when Lucky's Dad's Rules.
So this is the episode. So this argument is the episode.
Yeah, Lucky's Dad's like, what is this nonsense? That's not how you play Pass the Parcel.
We're raising a nation of squibs.
He says,
"Yeah,
there's one big present in the middle, and then the person doesn't look, and then you hit play, and then you hit stop, and whoever wins, and whoever loses gets nothing."
Yeah,
And then-
everyone else gets nothing.
So he insists he does it at the party, and all the kids end up crying, and he's trying to give them more money. He's like, "Oh, you win $5."
Can anyone
but then
break a 20?
But then as it goes on, the kids are like, the kid who wins gets a better present.
Gets such a good present
That
that everyone
like,
else is
"Actually,
like, well,
maybe we should just do this."
yeah.
And then
The odds
hopefully
of
we'll
getting
get
a good
one.
present over time is better than just getting a shitty present every time.
Yeah. Yeah, because otherwise you just get like a little bracelet or you get whatever. Whereas, they get like
the price that you get for everyone wins is not great.
yes.
It's
And then Bingo learns the lesson that as long as her friends are happy, she can be
everyone's happy.
Exactly. And it's very
No, not a good enough lesson. Banned.
No, that episode's fine. But like I said, I didn't realize we'd changed Pass the Parcel so that everybody got something and you're supposed to pay attention. I was Pat in that scenario.
I had
his dad.
seen it because I remember my niece and nephew. That was a thing.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was their party, or maybe it was someone else's party. I don't know. I have seen
the
it.
rules.
That's a thing. But I have had some experience with Bluey now.
Yes.
So the Bluey video game came out a little while ago, and I refused to buy it because I wasn't going to spend $60 on it.
I wasn't going to spend $60 on it either.
But then it came out on Game Pass.
Yeah. And my daughter got to enjoy it for 3 months before you did, or whatever it was,
for $60.
I played
every time. Loves that game, by the way.
She does. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I can see why. I can see why. It's like I played it and just got all the achievements and finished it. So I finished it in like 2 hours. But I could see it is a game that kids can play. It's not.
That's what she comes in. She goes, "I want to play the Bluey game," and then she just walks around, does stuff like she's not particularly fussed.
Yep, it's not hard. It's very, very straightforward. And
she likes the bit where Chattermax is, there's that sequence where Chattermax is running around. You got to get him.
Yeah, you got to try and catch him, but it's not hard to catch. But it's not all. Yeah, it's just.
Well,
I don't know.
It's because you're not 2 years old, Luke. She can barely hold the controller.
You understand how the controls work.
Yeah.
I did maybe use a guide to get all the achievements.
Of course you did. Whenever you tell us you got all the achievements, we assume you did have a guide because otherwise how would you know what the achievements even are?
I'm going to tell Jenna that because Jenna got all the achievements. She didn't use a guide.
The plants were difficult.
The plants were not difficult, Luke.
You
water plants and they grow.
No. There was one plant I watered and it grew and then nothing happened. And then I found out you had to water that one particular plant 8 times where everything else you just had to do twice.
Oh no.
But I recommend it for people with children. Dan, Harper will love it.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not on Game Pass at the moment because I wasn't playing the Xbox for a while. So I thought, well, why am I giving them $20 a month? But now that I'm playing it again, I should start that back up. My daughter's at the age now where she's fascinated by video games and wants to play them, but isn't very good at them. So, like even just playing Angry Birds, she wants to move it in the direction that you want it to go, not twist it back, She's like, fucking go! And then wonders why it drops, straight down.
One thing I did quite funny, so you sort of run everywhere except for the stairs.
Yeah.
You get to the stairs and they'll walk up the stairs safely and then back to running. And then you can slide down the banister.
I was also amazed, like when we first got the game, when you get to, when you're in the house, Lyra knows the layout of their house.
Oh, funny.
Like from the show. So she'd be like, I'll go upstairs. I want to go see Bluey's room. It's like, how do you know that that's upstairs?
Yeah.
You know,
because it's a weird layout of the house. The kitchen's upstairs.
Yeah. Yeah. And look,
That's
she's fucking
weird.
2. How does she know this stuff?
Funny.
I mean,
Well,
she's down the bottom of the list of things that she fucking blows my mind that she knows.
To the 1.5 billion minutes of views that it's had in January.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's constantly on. Even if she's doing something else, it's on.
Yeah.
I've told you guys, we don't watch normal TV now. We watch fan-made recreations on YouTube.
That's right.
Of
where there's zombies.
Lots of them.
Road yet.
There's some that just look like the ones with the Peppa Pig zombie ones just look like real Peppa Pig episodes. The Bluey's ones are not animated. They're with toys, but there are zombie episodes of it and alien episodes. And
really? How are they alien episodes? As in Xenomorph?
Yeah, there's a
alien. I hate
no.
That,
no, they call them Xenomorph, and when they say it, they look dead into the camera and go, "Fuck you, Matt." That's what they're called. No, there's one where Bandit puts Bluey and Bingo to bed, and then they hear this weird kind of crashing noise in the backyard, and all this red light comes into the house, and he goes out, and there's this flying saucer that's crashed, and he looks into it, and it's empty, but the alien has already escaped and gotten into their house. And I mean, it's done with toys by someone who doesn't really give a shit, right? So like, it's not.
Right.
Don't imagine something really thrilling.
I wouldn't describe putting it on YouTube as not giving a shit.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Okay, so Hui says to me, "Why don't you do this?" And my answer is, "Why would I?" Because she goes, "You could do better than this." I'm like, "Yeah, I could."
But that's not what they're looking for. They're not looking for good. They're just looking for it being there.
Yes. Yeah, they're not. It doesn't have to be art. It's just to entertain kids.
You would make it too good, and that's what would be the problem.
And it would take me 3 weeks to make one episode, and it would be not a good use of my time. Not a good time to profit ratio.
Dan, you're one of very few people who saw a short film I made once, starring Spider-Man and Dante from Devil
That
May
was it.
Cry.
It was Dante, yeah,
and Chatterer from Hellraiser.
That was fucking excellent. Yeah,
I don't have it anymore. It's gone.
Oh, I know that. Not only was that fucking hilariously funny, but also like the lighting was beautiful. You know what I mean? Like it looked like a late 80s, early 90s horror movie with that kind of.
So I spent like a whole weekend making a short film with my action figures, and because I had just bought a wide angle adapter for my Panasonic camcorder.
I can get up real close now.
Yeah, I spent a whole weekend making this short film, and I just wish I had a copy of it.
Okay, listeners, how old do you think Matt was when he did this?
Because, in my defense, the point
if you were thinking 25, you were correct.
The point was to learn some skills to then go on and do another short film that we did together
with human beings
that I do have the footage of that's never actually been edited technically into a film. I should probably do that at some point. But yes.
I Harrison Forded my way into that film as well because I just helped Matt by coming to the auditions and just being the reading partner for everyone. And eventually he was like, "Do you want to just play it?"
I was like,
"You know all the lines.
Dan's better than everybody who's auditioned."
You didn't ask me to audition.
No, you.
I would have been amazing.
You were in there.
Canberra?
No. Hold on.
No, I don't think
someone Luke's related to is in it. Yeah.
Wait,
I was in it. Me and my ex-wife were in it.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was trying not to say.
Of course. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yes.
I just didn't get asked to audition for a main part.
Yeah, no, I apologize.
And I would have been.
It's because he wrote that part for you, Luke.
I should do something with that.
Because the makeup with that was awesome.
Yes. Yeah. There was the location was great. The makeup was great. I think the lighting turned out great. It turned out all right.
Yeah.
I should get the footage and do something.
Actually, just pop it in one day. You shot on DV, right? So you're gonna still be. Are you able to capture that?
No, I've got it. Yeah, I have captured it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, if not, you can mail me the tapes and I can digitize.
I ripped them recorded them at some point. And I've got them. I think they're on my file server. I definitely got them because I've got that, and I've got back. I used to film bands back in the day as like a side thingamy.
Oh yeah,
like the footage. I found
30 hours of Jerk.
I found a footage of Jerk at Manson when they supported Manson. I found that footage. So.
Oh, Manson lost his defamation case against that actress who said he abused her.
Really? Turns out if you did it, it's not defamation.
You don't have a good leg to stand on. Yeah. She said I abused her. Did you? What is that? Why does that matter?
Everybody about it.
And it's one of these weird things.
It was a secret.
It doesn't necessarily mean that
I specifically told her not to tell anyone what I was doing to her.
No, unfortunately, it does. It is just because he won that case. She won that case doesn't necessarily mean that it's true because a case like that is held to a different standard than a criminal
Luke
case.
stands with Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't.
Yeah, but shut up, victims of sexual and emotional abuse.
It's something that annoys me. That they are
white men in powerful positions in America should be able to fuck with whoever they want.
No. I just find
Stop
it weird
talking
that they
about
are
it.
held to a different standard for those types of things when, yeah.
But I think it's, like him suing her back for it. It's like, just shut up. Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just don't do it to begin with. It's very simple. Very simple not to do.
He doesn't even make good music anymore.
He certainly does
He was
not.
always a cock, but at least in the beginning he made good music.
Not in the very beginning, but there was a point where he did come into some great music and then went out of it again.
I heard Trent helped him, I think, last week.
Trent Reznor helped him.
God, that was great. Just
the Antichrist Superstar album is fucking amazing, and I can't help wonder: isn't that because Trent produced it?
I reckon it probably is. I think, yeah.
I remember that story. I think it's from Manson's bio, actually, of Manson going around telling everybody, "Oh, David Lynch has asked me to do his new movie. I'm going to be heading around there later." And then him heading around to David Lynch's house, and Trent's car was already in the driveway. And he walked
He's like,
and Trent's like, I've just scored his movie. And was like, and then they basically didn't talk for 20 years or something.
So what was Manson doing there then? Why was he invited? Just to have a listen to Trent's score?
His version, I think it's in his bio. His version was that he thought he was doing it until he got there, and Trent was there and had already done it. And then David Lynch said, "Oh, you can do a song."
Right.
I think there was probably a conversation, but he probably took it more as a
what movie
was going to happen or
Lost Highway.
Fucking love that movie. Did Trent Reznor do the score for that?
Yeah.
See, I probably watched Lost Highway without knowing who Trent Reznor was.
David Bowie's on there.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's excellent.
See, we've probably got that to thank for one of my favorite songs ever, which is David Bowie remixed by Danny Lohner.
Oh, yeah.
Bring Me the Disco King, which is on the
Bring Me the Disco King, Underworld.
Underworld soundtrack. Because on Bowie's album, it's this like upbeat jazzy pop song. And then Danny Lohner remixed it as this fucking haunting ballad.
What the fuck is Danny doing now? He's great. He's underrated.
Yeah. Any B-side from the early 2000s that you were like, fuck, this dark shit is awesome, probably was him.
All those guys, right? Everybody who was in Nin, right? Charlie Klauser, right? Went on to do the fucking Saw soundtracks, all that kind of stuff. He's amazing. Danny Lohner went on to like produce all these bands, do the remixes and stuff like that. Who's the guy who was Trent's best buddy when they were young?
There was definitely talent.
Did the Alice soundtrack for American McGee. Who am I thinking of? Alice, American. Got type today.
Yep.
Soundtrack.
While you type, you guys can hear me.
Chris Brenner.
Oh, Chris Brenner, yeah.
Chris Brenner.
You muted yourself for a second.
I didn't mute myself. I want that to be known.
He was muted.
I was muted.
But yeah, I feel like being in 9 Inch Nails means you're going to do something else good later too.
Yeah. So just talking about fucking new metal bands from the late 90s and early 2000s. Just a topic that very few people care about and only we are keeping alive.
We don't normally do that on this podcast. We're talking about Bluey for 20 minutes.
I was listening to some Limp Bizkit in the car the other day. Right, I had $3 Bill Y'all on. Right?
Yeah, it's their best album.
It is their best album, but I'll say this, right? Oh, okay. So you want to put in a Chocolate Starfish?
No, I think Significant Other is a good album.
Significant Other, yeah, sure. So, but my favorite song of theirs, hands down, is Counterfeit. Right? Like I just fucking love that song. But when you listen to that, you think to yourself, how could the same artist have written this masterpiece and then gone nookie? Like, you know what I mean? Like, all I can assume is that Wes Borland was the one who wrote Counterfeit and said to fucking Fred Durst, just write some lyrics for this. Like, I've gotten you know what I mean? Like, there's just such an unbalance of talent within that band.
I don't know. The riff in Nookie is pretty cool. Like,
sure.
Like,
you can take the cookie and stick it up your ass.
Yeah.
That's the poetry.
Yeah. Lyrics wise, sure. But I think it's got Wes on it because to play Nookie, you have to tune your guitar funny. I won't bother being specific. We have to tune your guitar funny. So it's definitely a Wes thing to do. Because he was one of the early 7-string people. When 7 strings were invented, you had Korn, and then you had Dino from Fear Factory used 7-string.
Oh yeah,
and then you had John Petrucci from Dream Theater, and then you had Wes Borland. And Wes Borland in this interview was like, "I'm not a very good guitarist, so I wasn't quite sure what to do with this thing. So what I did was I just made it a 6-string with an extra another E string on the top."
Yeah.
And then did a bunch of funny stuff up there. And then later on, he started doing things like, well, I'll just make it a really funny extra low string or whatever. Like he didn't even try and use it like a normal way. He would just try and do fun stuff with it.
Something, yeah.
But that's how you get these like Limp Bizkit riffs that are like, the fuck is that? Because he was just like, well, I'll tune it down to F.
Yeah, I need this extra note, so I'll just make this extra string tuned to this so that I can hit it up here while I'm there. Yeah, he's an underrated.
Yeah, he is. Meshuggah came along and said, we'll just tune the whole guitar down to F lower. Yeah. It'll sound like
yeah.
Is he underrated? I don't think he is.
Wes? No, he is. He's very good. He's a very good guitarist.
He's also very weird in the band, though, because it's sort of like...
I'll unmute him.
Can we? I think we can. Oh no, we can't unmute.
I've done it. Oh, can't unmute.
You haven't.
Guest.
It's
the mic isn't connected.
Yes, it's not that I'm being muted. It's that my mic is cutting out. So for some reason, my video is cutting out and my mic is cutting out independently of one another. So I don't know what, and I still don't know if this is a StreamYard thing, if there's just something up. I don't know.
Is your webcam in the computer, or is it
no
a separate one? Okay,
it's a separate one.
It could be a USB issue.
Yeah, it could be.
Could be a USB issue. Failing. It's going through a powered hub, so it could be that.
Mm-hmm. Powered though, you'd think. Power would give it the power to stay connected. What else have we got this week? Oh, you know what we do have that I didn't put in here. Well, it'll be for the after party though. I've just remembered something.
Okay. So something that we're not going to give you any hint about, but it's coming in the after party.
I've got a candidate for Geek of the Week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, pop that in the after party.
I will.
We only usually talk about Nazis in the after party, but I want to just bring up some Nazi news. Some new news about the Nazis in the main show.
About them?
No, there's a new book about the Holocaust that's just come out, and it got mentioned on 2 podcasts that I listened to this week. Dan Carlin's Hardcore History Addendum. Matt, do you follow that separate channel, the Addendum channel?
I do. I haven't listened to it in a bit, but I do.
So he does an interview with the author, and it's very fascinating. But he also does about an hour of just kind of riffing first on his kind of knowledge and understanding of the Holocaust, and it gets pretty heavy actually. Some sad stuff. Is this
the author that on Sam Harris's podcast?
Yes.
Most recently, he said he won't come on my show for some reason. No one.
And he was like, he's the only author I've ever asked to come on who said no. Yeah. So that was the other one.
But he told me he'd done enough podcasts. But now
he goes, but I see no evidence of that. Yeah.
Well, he's obviously not a subscriber to Dan Carlin.
Yeah. So yeah, some Nazis on Dan Carlin. 2 of my favorite things mixed. Not my favorite things. Just 2 things that interest me. Things Dan Carlin talks about and the Nazis.
I've got to read that book. Everyone's talking about how good that book is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Book about the Holocaust.
I don't think I'll read it.
Cheerful.
Yeah.
You guys like Gareth Edwards? I know Dan does. Luke,
I do very much.
I don't know if I like him or not.
Rogue
you do like him. You like him very much.
But he didn't do Rogue One.
Yeah.
Well, he did most of it, and he did some awesome version we never got to see as well.
But the version we got to see was good.
Director of Godzilla. Director of
Which Godzilla?
The
one that I didn't like.
I don't know. Which one did you
Not the
like?
Matthew Broderick one.
No, not that one.
He did a
on a
independent
train.
movie called Monster, I think it was called, or Monsters, which was excellent, which was just two people trying to run away from a Godzilla-like creature. And then they were like, fuck it, he should do Godzilla.
And he did.
And he did. And actually, it was very good.
So he, then he did The Creator most recently, which was a movie that I was very excited to see because I like Gareth Edwards. I like Greg Fraser, who was the director of photography. It was shot all on those Sony, what are they, FX30, fucking whatever, consumer cams. I was really excited to see that. Beautiful movie. Probably going to win a bunch of VFX awards. Plot was a bit shit. Anyway, Gareth Edwards is directing the next Jurassic Park movie, the Jurassic World.
Why are they making more of that?
Because they haven't got it right yet. They've got none of the sequels right.
So he's been brought on at the last minute, apparently.
Oh.
And they've said, which I thought was neat, because I don't know, I can't help it. I just like Gareth Edwards for some reason. But they need somebody experienced with big studio productions, available quickly and willing to accept less creative input, as the project is far enough along that filming is starting in June. They're like, who can we get? They'll just come in and get this done.
Just do what make the movie. Yeah. It's Ron Howard.
Sound good.
I think this will be a very pretty movie at the least. And if it's pretty dinosaurs, I'll watch it.
Sexy dinosaurs.
I've seen the last
That's not what I meant.
movies. Where can they go from what they've done?
I haven't watched the new ones, so I don't know.
Neither have I. I started watching the first Chris Pratt one, and I was like, this is soulless. This is not Jurassic Park at all.
Bryce Dallas Howard. What's wrong with you?
I know, right?
The first one. In the second one, the island's now being destroyed for some reason, and they're trying to smuggle dinosaurs off. Yeah.
I haven't watched it. I just know there's a volcano from the trailer.
But yeah, that's like, there's no atoll anymore because that's been destroyed. And I don't know what it's turning into anymore.
Yeah.
They don't need to make it.
This doesn't talk about what it's about. But
then it gets dinosaurs.
Maybe they go back to the dinosaurs' home planet. And there's like space marines fighting dinosaurs wherever they're from.
Great.
Whatever country they're from.
Oh, that's popular at the moment. Space marines fighting aliens.
I think it's Helldivers.
It's been popular for a while.
No, but Helldivers, that's Helldivers 2.
Yep.
It's got people talking about Starship Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking the other day, there's people on the internet being like, oh, I don't like that movie. I hate fascists. It's
like, you're so right wing.
You didn't understand.
You didn't watch to the end, did it? Yeah.
You didn't.
Yeah.
Watch it again.
Yeah. That character that
also,
says, I'm proud to serve my country, and he's got no fucking limbs.
Yeah.
Like, you're meant to read into that stuff.
It was a parody. You missed the point.
That's right.
And the bugs were right.
Yeah.
Still stand by that.
No, I think you're probably correct.
I remember having to have arguments with people when that movie came out when I went, the bugs were right.
When I saw it, I went and saw it at the movies when I was doing my, what do they call that at school? Where I did an extra year of year 12. So I could catch up on some subjects, music and drama that I wanted to do. I couldn't do it at my little tiny Christian school in the middle of nowhere. Pathways. So I did a final year of year 12 where I literally only had music and drama and a bunch of free time. So I'd literally go see movies every day.
What a fucking year.
Yeah.
I'm
not complaining. So I went and saw Starship Troopers and then came back to school and were like, forget your classes, guys. We got to go see this movie.
Oh, I thought you were going to say join the army.
No. All of these cocks who make fun of us, just come and see this movie, right?
Yeah.
Because this is a movie for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then all those people went and saw it too. I'm like, yeah, fuck those bugs.
Yeah, that's right. I know. Kill bugs. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Titties. So it's Verhoeven was told RoboCop was too subtle.
Yeah,
so he
right.
said, all right,
make it more in your face. Yeah,
fine. I'll make it so obvious that this is a fucking parody that people
won't. No way you could.
There'll be no way you question it.
Yeah, and yet still,
and now people are like, yeah, fuck the bugs.
Yeah, incredible. You know where you can fuck bugs?
Where
is the after party, Matt?
Do
fucking
you
after
have
party.
to? Or is it a choice?
If you don't fuck them, Luke, they'll fuck you.
Have you seen the movie?
Actually, maybe I haven't seen this movie.
The brain bug sticks his little. Oh, Dan dropped out
Straight
right
in.
as I did that. I'll do it again when he comes back on.
Yep. As soon as he's there, I'm going to hit the
Unless
button.
no, he's back. He's back.
He's back.
Hey, Dan, who am I?
I actually can't see you yet. I can just hear you.
Oh.
So,
I'm Jenna Ortega.
you wish.
Patreon.com/multiple-nerdgasm or multiple-nerdgasm.com/afterparty. Join the after party for as little as $1 a month. You get the show early and a bunch of bonus stuff. And then for $5 a month, you get the after party where we're going to keep talking for 30 minutes and apparently fucking bugs.
Yep.
Apparently.
Getting sucked off by Jenna Ortega.
That's all for this week. Thank you for listening and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed it, then please subscribe in iTunes to receive episodes automatically. We'll see you next time.